Alright, here we go. This is this tool, yeah, the rocking chair. Gotta hold it up here. So we're gonna try to clean this up just a little bit. I'm not gonna talk anymore, but you'll see that I can lay this down, you know, almost right into it if I want to, as long as I got a grip on it. Okay, so here we go. Real slow. Well, see, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, let's get the other one out. So this doesn't have a chuck, right? So that's a chuck. This is the key. So you put the peg in the hole and turn it, and it peg in the hole, and you turn it and it loosens the shaft, so you can pull that out. This doesn't have the same, and unfortunately the nut that holds the collet is wearing out. I did order new ones. They're supposed to be in today, so I have to use a plier. You push down on the lock, so this free turns unless you push on the lock, and then the lock keeps it from turning very much. And you just loosen that up, and you shouldn't have to take the nut off if you have the right collet inside. I'll show you what that is. So I have lots of collets. So this, oh come on there, out, is a collet, see, and it holds the shaft of the tool. See, if you have the right collet in there, you never have to take that whole nut off. But I only have one little Dremel barrel, so we're going to use a bigger Dremel barrel. Loosen that up a little bit more. Put that in there. Tighten it in. Now I should actually be wearing a mask when I'm doing this because I'm creating a lot of sawdust. Make sure that it doesn't pop out. There's nothing worse than having a loose shaft and then have it walk right out of the collet. Can gouge what you're doing, ruin the whole project, then you have to start all over again. This, of course, is a slide button, and it's kind of wearing out, so it always works about 4, and that's a good speed for something that is done like this. But you see the difference in how far you can lay down, because you don't want to angle in like this, because this edge can make cuts. We want it as flat against the surface as possible, and we want to go with the grain of the wood, not against it, because that's going to make scars that are really hard to get out. So see, I can already tell it's dragging a little bit. Speed it up. So, you see what I did? Even though the rotation was really fast, I used both hands when I held this tool, because it's heavier than this tool, and it will walk more, and you don't want to get that angle wrong because you don't want to gouge it. And I made short little light brushes because we don't want a rotational groove put inside what we're doing. So I recommend that when you start using Dremels or Fordhams or tools, practice on a little bit of some sort of scrap. You know, that's how I learned to do everything. When I was doing engraving, I practiced on aluminum and then copper. Steel is really hard to engrave with your hands, and I didn't have a mnemonic engraving tool. So the difference is this is a rotational tool. A mnemonic tool is more like a tiny little hammer. So instead of turning, it hammers. And it's better for engraving to have a hammer because it's going to guide and groove where you want it. Where a rotational tool, if you don't have a good grip on that and you're engraving, it'll just walk right off your pattern. That's my advice for the day. Keep your tools where you need them. Keep everything cleaned up. If you can't clean up every day, clean up every other day. Put things in order, put stuff away, so you know where things are at when you need them right away. Grandpa Leo taught me that. He had all of his tools arranged in a certain way, and God forbid if you put a tool back in the wrong place or if you rearranged his pattern, he would just have a cow while he was cutting up cows. All right, there we go. Bye.